You guys, I think it's like day 3 without vapes for me. Does anybody feel sorry for their mother or their wife or their sister or whoever I am to you? Because you guys really need to get me some vapes like very quickly. I'm already so pissed off. My brother, I guess, or my mom, I don't know if my brother dropped them off or if my mom just had them, but sitting on the table is Adam's little Swedish freaking, like, they're like these little white patches of nicotine that you just like put in right there. And I'm like, did I ask for Adam's little white patches? No, I didn't. I asked for these specific vapes. Anyway, look what I found in the shower. That's how small your planet is. That's how teeny tiny planet Earth is. Look what I can do to it. Now go get me some vapes, you stupid mortals. Sebastian, make a wish. Sebastian, it's always dark in the beginning. I wish for Falcor. Yeah! Okay. You guys want to hear the downloads from Howl's Moving Castle? The last time I had space codes. Like, I think about her the majority of the time. I can hear you recording in the background. Eeyore. I really don't give a crap if like you think about me like for the majority of the time. I really just care like if you embody it and you buy me some freaking vapes and you start worshiping the ground I walk on, which means that you would organize yourselves to take care of me. One molecule. It's not that hard to understand. If you take care of the one molecule, you will be taken care of. Oh, my nose is so itchy. Aaron Dowdy. Ugh. I'm a Lyran. No, okay? I already told you. Reptilian takeover. Pretty sure I said that. Reptilian takeover. I'm a reptilian, okay? I'm a reptilian, okay? You see here? Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. I'm a reptilian, okay? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Um, I did have to become a Lyran. Anyway, whatever. I already told you about that. What happened? Um. Okay. Stop distracting yourself, Alyssa, and go buy yourself some vapes, okay? Do the right thing and go buy yourself some vapes since I'm talking to my freaking self. The vape boys from the shop should actually deliver these to my house right now. They should be like, we're sorry, we made a mistake. Princess Mononoke, and here are your vapes. And we will not make that mistake again. Who am I talking to? You guys want me to go to my void again? You want this world to fall apart for a few days, however long I'm in my void? Or do you want to pass your test? How hard is it to bring some vapes over my freaking house? It's always dark in the beginning. This is all that's left from my kingdom. It's happened before. It could happen again. How's Moving Castle download? Okay, it takes like a lot of concentration to like talk about this crap. So Howl's Moving Castle download. I think it happened after the I can't remember exactly like time, like the actual like days, the days of the week that it happened, or how many days it happened, and whatever. It happened around all of like the time when all of those spaceships started showing up. So I can check my phone. Hold on. My outfit doesn't match today, so sorry. I feel like I have to check this video to make sure nothing's showing. But then if I check it, anyway, I can just revise it in YouTube if I want to. If whatever. So that's fine. Moving on. Brandon said, there was absolutely, where were my signs that I was going to die and that I should be running to the arms of my princess? I had zero signs that I was about to die. He actually described his death one time to me as a knife going through him. He said that a bullet, it was during his death process that I went through with him last year. He said that a bullet is just a sword, knife, whatever. It's just a bullet is just a sword going through you because it's like a single continuous thing. You know, if you look at it cell by cell by cell by cell, and it creates a knife or a sword. So it's actually like death by a sword, a bullet. That's how he described his death. And there you go. Him on the set of The Crow holding a sword. And him talking to me over walls and through death saying, where were my signs that I was about to die and that I should be running to my princess? Okay. The spaceships. Okay, so I don't know the exact date. Oh, here's the one where it has the words his see, it says 96 on his yeah, it says 96 on his looks like it's a like one of these things, or I don't know, but it says 96. Remember we were talking about that, the Mandela effect? um okay, so it was around August 25th, but yeah, so yeah. And then it was like, let me see. Yeah, so I guess it was probably around August 25th. Around then. That's a different one. I think that's the Tic Tac or the pill UFO. So yeah, it was around August 25th, just like around then. And I think that was around the time of the one of the adrenochrome videos where I like really felt it and I felt like I was getting really sick. Um, and they started giving me adrenochrome again yesterday, which means they're draining the swamp from the rotten people that won't embody it, and they're turning into ghosts and thus turning into holograms. And we will start to see that through our space eyes. We will start to see the holographic people. As we embody our, the way to be able to see the holographic people is to embody your reptilian, Palladian, sparkly skin. And the way to embody your sparkly skin is by owning it, owning that that's who you are, owning that that's what you are, owning that you have memories of living in Antarctica. Not that you currently live in Antarctica because you live in Miami, okay? But you have memories of living in Antarctica. I feel like I need my water. I guess Aaron's right, and I'm going to clear my throat again, and you guys are all going to puke. I'm out of water. So, Howl's moving castle started around then. Started with the adrenochrome. Feeling sick, I believe. Anyway, it's really hard to remember like time and space and like the date because I hardly ever look at the date or what day of the week it is or anything like that. So it's really hard to remember to remember that stuff. But I remember it starting with James came over my house. And James started filling nature, and he looks a lot like my Michael. And so I guess that's Colin's Michael is, it was James Colin's son. And I guess James is Colin's Mike because he looks a lot like Mike. And he started filling nature, and I was like, "Oh, hey, Mike," and he kept saying, "Why are you calling me Mike? My name is James." And I'm like, "Oh, it's James." And I'm like, "Well, sorry, you look like a lot like Mike right now," because he was like filling nature, and he had like this tablet, something like this or whatever, like with Lincoln Zelda or whatever, and he was like, "I'm gonna start to program the space codes and aliens like dropping in and stuff like that." And I was like, "Cool." And so like there was like a bunch of him, so it was like all him, so it was like just like a bunch of him in the trees and like in nature, like I could just see like a bunch of him in nature and like a bunch of him in the trees and a bunch of him like in these like little shrubs that we have and stuff, and it was just like all James and Mike basically. And so it was like him backing himself up, and he started programming it, and then the spaceships started coming up, and there was holographic ones and 3D ones, and so I guess that's sort of like a precursor to like holographic humans and 3D humans. And I told you guys about that stuff, I think. And I was on my bed, and the house was like shaking like crazy. The bed was like shaking like crazy. It felt like the bed was like actually moving, like you know, like in a movie theater when the seats move when you're watching a movie. It was like that, but it was my bed. And the bed kept moving us around time and space to like find a place to drop me in to put me on the throne that wouldn't start World War III. In the past, we went to the past, so I think we went like all the way to the 80s. I remember like asking Brandon like during it and stuff, like what year is this and everything like that, but like we were going to the past, and I saw like people I used to go to yoga with, and they were like freaking out about me, and they were like, why don't you leave us alone? Why don't you leave us alone? And listen, I'm like, I literally cannot leave you alone. I'm the energy that lives inside of you. I call it a demon, and I'm everything outside of you. And literally, you're living in like my video game program. I can't leave you alone. Okay. And so I was like talking to those people for a long time, and they were in a portal outside of my room. And I remember like going back in time. I don't know what year it was, but and I saw like a very depressed version of my brother. And you have to remember that Adam is in a lot of men, so it doesn't necessarily mean it's actually my brother. And it actually wasn't my brother, but I didn't know that at the time, and it really got me really depressed because he was really depressed. And I saw that in the past. It was just like I basically I said it, like they kept going to different times to try to drop me in to go to the past to see if they healed yet, if the past healed yet, if they could drop me into the past and put me on the throne as the princess, and it not cause set off like the balance of the universe, or set off the balance of planet Earth or something. I don't think it's the universe, because most of the universe treats me like God. It's planet Earth's problem. See, they're already fighting back right now from, and a lot of that's from the past. They they would drop me in and would start to cause a conflict, and I would see it on my TV. There would be nothing on my TV; it would just be black, but I would see it through the space codes, and I'd start to see like some kind of crazy conflict start or whatever. And they were just basically testing different times to drop me in to see if they healed yet, to see if they could put me back on the throne as a princess in like 1986 and stuff like that, right? They tried all different times, and they couldn't find a time. And so they kept moving me around because it kept causing World War III. So like they would drop me in, no, it didn't heal yet, it would start to cause World War III, and then we would leave to go to a peaceful time. We'd go to a peaceful time, and then they finally I want to say we're in 2024 now, and we're that vision quest, you can call it, is actively healing right now to heal the past, because 2027 is rippling to back now 2024, and then 2024 is rippling back to my childhood, all the way back. I'm not just my childhood, but it's rippling all the way back. And another memory that I uncovered was me and Tom Hardy's memory when Tom Hardy was discovered, which was in 2010. I looked up his breakout role, and it was Inception in 2010. And because my family loves, like they love a certain type of man. Janellos love a Janello type of man. Okay. And Tom Hardy looks like he's someone directly from my family. He looks like a cousin. He looks like an amalgamation of a bunch of men from my family. Okay. And they didn't really like agree to Brandon. And part of it was because of his dragon lineage. And so spirit and kind people that have always been on my side during this incarnation were like, well, let's try to find somebody that's like a Janello. So they discovered Tom Hardy, and that's what made Tom Hardy famous in the first place. And then they gave my family visions and dreams about her marrying Tom Hardy, me marrying Tom Hardy, and maybe that would work better. And then, you can give her the family house, and then you can support her as the princess and everything like that. And they still said no. And Tom Hardy's last life was Marlon Brando, and my last life was Marilyn Monroe. And so we've had a life together already. And so we, you know, that's why they're like, okay, well, let's try Marlon Brando then. um, so that was another recent download. I don't know what else you guys want me to tell you about Howl's Moving Castle downloads. Like, we just went through. I don't remember like any other specifics about the different times. I only remember the atom. Oh, okay. I do remember we were like going through like layers of hell too, while we were going back in the past, and we went like through all of the layers of hell, and we went to like one of the lowest layers, and because there was a version of Chris Evans trapped in there, and it was the version of Chris Evans that I was supposed to marry, which is the one from it's the one of not from Civil War. This one. That's the one that I was supposed to marry. That's the one that was supposed to propose to me, and he never did. And he chose to go down the layers of hell, and then he ended up in the lowest layer of hell, which is like all fighting, like all the time, like it's all like men physically fighting each other. And we went down to rescue him to get him out during this vision quest, and he was like, no, I actually like it down here. I'm actually really happy down here. And I really like this layer of hell. So we couldn't even rescue him. We couldn't rescue him because he didn't agree to it. And I was like, okay, well, I guess we're leaving him down here. And so that's so there was an Adam and there was a Mike that we couldn't rescue, and the Adam ended up being a version of him that I'm not fond of, so that's literally fine. Because if you don't show up for me and help me in my life, then I'm not gonna like you back. And he's turned into a ghost. He's in like 305 4050. I don't care. And I don't care. He's gonna turn into a hologram. Um, as for that Chris Evans that's trapped down there, I wasn't. Let's just say I wasn't surprised because it's Chris Evans at this point, and it's like, what are you doing, Chris? Like, only his higher self seems to like actually care about me. Like the one in the spaceship, like the one from the future, he seems to be the only one that actually cares for me. Like Earth incarnations of Chris Evans, they did seem to care about me when I worked in corporate and stuff, but like he doesn't show up for me physically, so he doesn't seem to actually care about me, right? So like I wasn't surprised that Chris Evans wants to stay down there in hell. I think you guys are asking like, why didn't I just, since I'm God, like why didn't I just pull him up? Um, because Brandon was like, we'll clear it, we'll come back for him, and we'll clear it. And I mean, I'm with Brandon during it, and you guys know I think you guys know what I'm like when I'm with Brandon. When I'm with Brandon, I don't give a crap about anything. I'm not like, oh my God, we have to rescue Chris. I did care about that picture of Adam because it was really super sad, but it ended up not being my actual brother. So, I don't care. So that's why I didn't push about Chris Evans. I was just like, whatever. I'm with Brandon. I don't care. I don't give a crap. So that's another thing. I'm trying to think of like any other World War III. Like it literally, like it made the bell go off like 4, 5, 6, 7 times, and like I think in a matter of like 2 days, like it kept almost causing World War III in every single timeline that we were in. And I think that was sort of like the goal of this mission and why I came home was to start my life over as like a 4-year-old or somewhere in the timeline, 4 to like 14 or whatever. And every single one of those incarnations still would cause World War III. I told you I've started the game over already multiple times, about 500 times, from this incarnation, including The Last of Us and including like a lot of different apocalypse scenarios. And we couldn't do it in that Vision Quest setting. In that, you want me to call it ayahuasca, but it's Alyssa. It's I'm Alyssa session. Like it's all from me. Like all of your Vision Quests are from my goo, my gooiness, my gooey body, and you should give me all of the credit because there's nothing outside of me, and all of ayahuasca's powers come from me directly. So, and if Plant Lady wants to go, let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. So yeah, I think we're just working on clearing those past timelines so that we can go back safely without causing World War III to happen. But yeah, it was just like, oh shit, like it's about to cause World War III, and then like I could like feel everything moving again, the house moving, the bed moving, like literally everything moving, like gotta get her out of here, or the place is gonna blow. So it was definitely like being walked through time and escaping World War III and being walked in and walked out, walked in and walked out, walked in and walked out. So, and just from me doing that and me like posting these videos, and like I said, from 2027 to 2024 and that like rippling back and everything, and then going back in the past with Brandon, that all helps to clear and clean the timelines. Okay. I wish I could give you guys more details about I think I gave you as much as detail as I could. Like I talked about like going back to my yoga past. They were definitely there. It was definitely upsetting to them that their friend from yoga is God, that's obviously has to be cleared. There was a lot of people in there that I had to like talk to and stuff, and I'm just trying to remember if there's any other details. I already told you how to get out of Ghostland if you want to save yourself. I don't know what you expect me to do, like for you. Like, if you don't want to help me, if you don't want to, if you want to buy me some vapes, then maybe I'll help you get out of Ghostland. Like, don't be resentful towards God. Don't be bitter towards God when you absolutely know who the hell I am and how you can help yourself by humbling yourself as the tiny little microscopic person that you are. Oh, Jason Momoa posted his skyline. He's in Boston, I think, today or yesterday. And he posted his skyline at night. And he was like, sweetie, telepathically, he was like, sweetie, look, I'm not in the same universe as you. Because he posted his skyline. There was literally like no ships at all. And because he heard me talking about Jake Gyllenhaal's my friend in New York, and he's seeing the spaceships in New York. I posted about that the other day. And he's like, look, sweetie, I'm not in the same universe as you. And like, that's all well and good, but like, you're literally telepathically talking to me over walls, and you know that I'm God, and you know that I can help you out of any situation. And you still like I'm just saying, like, he can't use that as an excuse. Like, we're still in the same universe, even though the ships are being even though the ships are being cloaked from his eyes. It's just an invisibility cloak. That's the only difference, because he is in three. He's either in 3-0 or he's in 3-1, and that Jason Momoa, and it's his choice to be in 3-0, 3-1, and not to move on, right? And that's his choice to like disobey his wife. And he's just showing me like he can't see them, but he's still attached to his higher self. That's Jason Momoa. That's my husband. Okay? That they're still attached. He's not completely separated from his higher self. That's on this wavelength and seeing the ships in this periphery, right? You it's not that hard to understand. And it doesn't mean you're a bad person if you're in a lower universe than me and you're actually my husband. I've already talked about clearing images. Jason and Danny are like, how much worse are the glitches going to get if we don't embody it? What do you think? What happened when Solara took over? How many people died of COVID? You know? The whole Lyran thing should not be causing confusion. I already sent out an image of what happens when you turn into a Lyran in Antarctica, when you decide to hold yourself in Antarctica, and how that's not allowed. That's not allowed in Antarctica City. You're not allowed to hold yourself like that. And if you do, that's how she got the ticket to Antarctica, because she's not from Antarctica City. And it obviously affected people's energy in Antarctica City, including my own. And that's why she got the ticket to Antarctica City, because she's not from there. And that's why she got fried as the intruder in the chamber. Okay? So, you're not allowed to hold yourself. Of course, I'm allowed to hold myself, okay? But you're not allowed to hold yourself in Antarctica City, because it makes the reptilians literally freak out. And it's just not allowed. So you have to stay in reptilian and Pleiadian form in Antarctica City. And if you break the rules, your Lyran gets booted to Antarctica City and your frequency gets fried. And a lot of Lyrans have suffered because of that. Okay? So that's how that works. I think I already explained how Lyrans are allowed on planet Earth and in planet Earth, and it's in a very like formal, like it's in a very formal like professional manner, where it doesn't scare the kids, where it doesn't scare the reptilians. I mean, the reptilian kids are still kind of like, they're just starting to like think that it's okay to embody it, right? And so like the last thing we need are like Lyrans who are like the good of all humanity, right? Like trying to scare them off. And I'm not going to stand for it, because this is mainly a reptilian Pleiadian planet. And it's yesterday you guys were like, oh my god, she's gonna play both sides, she's on the reptilian side now, but like you never know, she's gonna like go up and then become a Lyran. Like when have I ever been a Lyran? When have I ever been fond of the light, or the Lyran side, or the good, or the light, like the light, right? Like, oh my god, this fucking, let me go close my window. This guy mowing the grass is getting on my nerves. I don't know how much longer I can record because this guy's really getting on my nerves. I can't stand this fucking lawnmower sound. But, okay, like, you're like, oh, she's gonna play both sides. She's like reptilian now, and she's reptilian, and then she's gonna go up, and eventually, like, if we don't listen to her and stuff, then she's gonna become Lyran, and then she's gonna eat all of us reptilians. When have I ever been a Lyran? I became a Lyran for the first time, I think, ever. Like, I took over my Lyran suit for the first time ever last year. Before then, my dad has always held me. My Lyran dad, okay? Or my machine elf dad has held me. And that's basically, that's how it works with me. I get held by my father, okay? I don't usually take over a Lyran suit. I had to take over the freaking Lyran suit because of this crap, okay? I'm not a Lyran. I'm 100% draconian. I am 100% dark side, okay? I'm the demon that lives inside of you. I am the dark. I am the darkness. I am not the light. I work with the light. I have a lot of good friends that are light. I marry the light. I'm not the light, okay? I'm not, my father is the light. I'm not the light. I am dark. I am dark side AF. I'm not going to ever become a Lyran and take over this planet. First of all, do you guys not know your wars? The dark side always wins because dark light images sounds. Dark light images sounds. Who's the strongest? The dark. Who's God? Me. Why would I ever go light side? It's not going to happen. I'm never going to be light side. Of course I have Lyran suits. Of course I am inside all of the light beings because it's the same energy, my demon molecule that's inside literally everything. Okay? But Draco AF might have to come after some out of line reptilians. Draco AF. I'm not a Lyran. I have to take over my Lyran suit in a very, very, very rare occasion. I never even knew I had a Lyran dad. I already told you guys this. I didn't even know about the light side really until I met Alex and Ryan, and I was like, Lyran? I'm a Lyran? I'm the light? What? I mean, imagine telling a demon that she's the light. It's like, what do you mean I'm the light? So, I've told you since birth, like, I've been abducted by my father, who is a reptilian, and then he recently told me, the sparkles, that's the Palladian on both. And I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense, the sparkles. Because the sparkly suits, if you ever see a beautiful Palladian, they're extremely sparkly and extremely beautiful. And that's Palladian. Right? Okay? So, and Palladians are pretty dark. Right? So, Palladians are also had to get the upgrade because they were also very, very light. And I didn't like the Palladians. And then they had to get the freaking upgrade. Just like I just said, okay? That was one of my fucking space surgeries this year, was to give the Palladians the upgrade so that the light, remember I've posted a video about it, now the light can equally scare you as much as the dark side, okay? That was done this year. And I've seen that suit of Brandon's a long time ago in like the 80s or 90s. I'm so tired of over-explaining. You guys know what I'm saying. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying. It's always existed, but now we're like implementing it with awareness, and the surgery happened this year. Now my dog's barking. Everybody's annoying me. Palladian. Right. Palladian, Reptilian, Draconian, Draco, I already told you. Fresh. God damn it, Fresh. Yeah, so I don't think that's going to happen, okay? I'm not going to become a Lyran. I'm never going to become a Lyran. Look, it's the same conversation I had basically 10 years ago with Alex Ryan. A Lyran? What do you mean? I'm not a Lyran. Same freaking conversation. Who did I become? After I met them, I became Melina. My eyes became slits, like a freaking reptilian. And they still are like, oh, I think she's Palladian. Like, that's what their response was. Oh, I mean, I know she's reptilian, but I think she's Palladian. How many times do I have to get into your freaking head that I'm a fucking reptilian? You guys keep fighting me on this. I am the queen reptile woman. That's at the very tippity top. That's what you see at the little light disc. You either see the Empress or you see me as Melina. Okay? That's me. That's the queen of the food chain. That's who I am. I'm not going to become a Lyran. That's not going to happen. Same conversation. Same freaking conversation as 10 years ago. How does it work with Brandon? Brandon is the reptilian, the bottom of the food chain, then it goes up into the light. At the very top is my Lyran dad. It's not Brandon. It's Tom Hardy. They're two separate people. One at the bottom is Brandon. The one at the top is Marlon Brando. Marlo Brandon. Okay? That's not me. That's not me. I only have to take over her suit once in a blue moon, and I do not like to be a fucking Lyran. And when I am a Lyran, I'm the same type of person that I am as Melina, okay? I have one personality. One personality. Okay, guys? Okay? I'm not going to become a Lyran. It's not going to happen. This is a reptilian planet. And if it's not a reptilian planet, then guess what? Okay? If this is not a freaking reptilian planet, guess what? Alright? It's not a fucking Lyran planet.